Alright, in this step, we'll go ahead and create this area of the map here. It looks to be a lake. So let's zoom in, and I'm going to begin with a stroke and not a fill, because I think it will be easier to go around our shape if we're only dealing with the stroke. So let's use our arrows and we'll swap the fill for the stroke. And I'll look at my weight over here, and 1 point will be fine to get started. So let's get our pen tool. And again, we want to think about the shape. And we want to think about where we can place points to best create our curves. So I'm going to start up here close to what might be 12 o'clock. And I'm looking at this curve here. And I think I'm going to begin in the approximate center of what would be this curve. Now, I'm going to follow the next curve. And I have to think about this shape here. So I believe I'll place a point right about here. And I don't worry about the curve yet. I'll get everything in with just straight shapes. Or straight lines, I should say. So maybe the next one will be here. And I think I'll place one here because we have a curve. Now this is going to be a little bit straighter in here. So I'm going to have to think about this one a little bit, but I'll put my next point right about here. And then I'll place one here. And maybe for right now, let's just place one here. And then we'll place one here, right up in this part of our curve. And then we will connect our path so we have a closed path. All right, now let's get the convert tool and begin to convert to Bezier curves. So we'll go from a station or an anchor point or a station point to a Bezier curve. And we'll go around, we'll get all of these curves in, and then we will add points or move points based on our needs. So let's get the convert tool. I'll start right up here, and I'll click and drag a path, and I'll rotate my handles. So I'm going to adjust the tension and the bias to meet my need. So I'm not going to worry about being exact. We're just going to get close. We're just going to block this in. Okay? So as I start pulling, I'm getting the shape at the bottom, or to the bottom working, but the top is going too far. So I'll just go somewhere in between, like so. Again, we'll come back and we'll make adjustments. So I'm just going to get the curves in right now. So I'll go around, adding my curves, and then we'll go and smooth them out. Last one right up here. And there we go. Okay, so we're close. Actually, I have one more to place right in here. All right, so we're pretty close. But now we'll go in and we'll make some adjustments. And it's not going to hurt anything. I'll get the white arrow, the direct select, and you're certainly not going to hurt anything to pull your path away and then bring it back. It's a good way to see where you need to make adjustments. So I'm just going to go around, pull my path. Maybe I'll zoom in on this so it's a little easier to see. And then I'll bring my path back out. Maybe I'll bias this point a little closer to that top point, and that certainly makes this area work a little better. Okay, I'll bring this over, bring it back, start moving it left to right, up, down, towards just the way I want it. Now let's get this one, bring it back. That's pretty close, actually. We'll do the next one. So we're just moving our points in. We're moving them back. Now this one, I could use a little adjustment to move this in. So I'll just take this handle and move this handle in. Now you might have to rotate your handle. And once you start doing this, you might have to move your point again. I think I'll pull this handle a little bit here. Let's go over now. We'll grab this one, bring it back. I think I'll rotate the top just a little, and I'll pull this handle down to increase this curve. All right, pull this in, we'll pull it back. Now this part's a little funky in here, so let's pull out, and then I'll reduce this handle. So when I say reduce, I'll pull it towards the point, the anchor. And now maybe this side needs to be adjusted a little bit, so I'll bring this handle out. This needs to have a little more curve, so I could bring the handle in, and I could bring this handle out ever so slightly. So when we're done, let me zoom out here, our shape should be pretty close. It could be a little better up here, but we're pretty close, and our shape is nice and smooth, good transitions all the way around. So let's just go ahead and select, and then swap the stroke for a fill, and we should have our solid shape. So we'll zoom out like so. Now what I would like you to do is create the rest of the paths, okay, until you have the map finished and you have a border going all the way around, you have a border going around this little table of contents, and you have some lines inside. So you should be able to take the techniques that we have covered, making these other shapes, these other paths, these other objects, and you should be able to finish up the rest of this map. All right, good luck.